I think that the national scene and everything going on, especially in Minneapolis, has gotten a lot of people extremely concerned and afraid to go out.
Concern turning into action. Michigan Democrats have rolled out a way for people to keep an eye on immigration enforcement efforts. Attorney General Dana Nessel has launched a new reporting form aimed at collecting information anonymously about immigration action happening across the state. Good evening. I'm Ann Emmerich.
And I'm David Andrews. The form allows people to submit details, photos, and videos of alleged misconduct by federal immigration agents. News 10's Rachel Fulton is in the TV 10 newsroom tonight with more details. Rachel?
Yes, David and Ann, this form comes after the Attorney General's office says it received more than 5,000 emails from residents concerned about immigration activity in their communities. Supporters say it creates accountability, while opponents say it could interfere with enforcement. In this political and social climate, many Michiganders say accountability doesn't start in a courtroom. It starts on a phone. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel is asking residents to document immigration activity throughout the state using a new immigration action reporting form.
I think this is extremely good that we're moving in this direction because it shows that Michigan is willing to protect its citizens.
But not everyone sees it as protection.
In a few blue states where the governors and the mayors are encouraging people to get out there and try to engage with ICE, try to stop them from doing their jobs, that's where the problems are.
Senator Jim Runstad says where state and federal agencies cooperate, enforcement continues without conflict.
What they do in places like sanctuary cities, which the Democrats want in Michigan, is they just release them out onto the public, to continue doing more harm. And the Democrats are fine with that.
Cole McEldanny, who works closely with the Jackson County Immigrant Coalition, argues the form isn't about stopping enforcement, but about creating a record when official details aren't always clear.
Up until now, we have not had confirmation that people wouldn't be wearing masks, that they would be having badges or, police cams on them. We need to be ready to get all the documentation together for ourselves.
Still, critics warn the form could be used for more than documentation.
There's no prohibition. This is just a political farce, a game that she's playing to highlight herself.
While Michigan isn't seeing the same level of immigration enforcement as cities like Minneapolis or Chicago, advocates say some activity has started in our state. The jail systems in Jackson and Calhoun counties are working directly with immigration officials. David and Ann, back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Critics of the new form warn since anyone is able to submit information, there is a chance false or excessive reports could flood the system, making it harder to identify legitimate complaints. And while our state attorney general has set up this new system,